Mr. Speaker, sir. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to raise this zero-hour discussion under Rule 49A of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business to discuss matters of grave public importance which is related to the problems faced by the RMSA teachers in the state and on the basis of the petition submitted by the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA teachers under the subject Challenges Faced by RMSA Teachers in Meghalaya dated 1st March 2021.
How long will it take, Mahima?
Within 10 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Please initiate.
So, Honorable Speaker, sir, the teachers of the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan fall under the purview of the National Education Mission or the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, an erstwhile centrally sponsored scheme on teacher education, which is called as CSSTE, sir. So there are about 27 functional RMSA schools in the state of Meghalaya, and all the teachers in these RMSA schools are duly appointed by the government. In fact, all the RMSA teachers are all trained teachers who possess the required B.Ed degrees. So these teachers have not only chosen to willingly enter into this most noble profession, but also have left no stone unturned in their endeavor to ensure that they always gave their very best to the students who are in their care. However, there are a few disconcerting issues which the RMSA teachers have been facing ever since they have been employed, which perhaps can no longer be ignored by the authorities and by the Minister in charge of Education. So firstly, I wish to inform this House that one huge impediment to the successful discharge of their duties as educators is the fact that the salaries are not regular. The headmistress or the headmaster are drawing the same pay as the assistant teachers, while the workload and position is not the same. The teachers are compelled to go on for months without being paid with their salaries nor dues. Adding to this, the schools that these teachers teach are located in very remote places. Some teachers have to stay in rented accommodation because commuting every day from their home is not practical. And there are no provisions for the staff quarters either. The rise in price and financial crisis due to corona pandemic has really made the RMSA teachers difficult to make both ends meet. Secondly, I would like to bring to the notice of this august House that despite being appointed by the government and having met all the requirements as the norms and criteria laid by the government, these teachers are still not regularized. They are still required to sign a contract every year, which leads to doubts and uncertainty about their future and their job. There are many schools under RMSA that have vacant posts because of resignation of teachers, that this has hampered the learning and the teaching process. When this matter was brought to the notice of the authorities, the headmaster or the headmistress was directed by the authorities to manage the classes himself or herself in addition to his or her normal duties. No efforts have been made to fill up the vacancies of the teachers who resigned. Thirdly, sir, the school's grant for 2018 was received only in February 2020, sir. And that too, only 25,000 rupees was given to be shared with the upper primary section. So this money was needed to maintain the yearly school supplies and to meet other expenses associated with the smooth functioning of the school. Sir, there are RMSA schools that do not have electricity, water supply till date, and which has caused a big problem to the process of imparting education. There are a lot of infrastructural defects in RMSA buildings which are not addressed to by the concerned authorities. The head teacher is directed to report to the BDO about the problems of the buildings. From the BDO, the report goes to the education department. And then from the education department, the same matter is redirected to the respective deputy commissioners. Finally, the deputy commissioners of the district will say, I'm sorry, we do not have funds. So the RMSA schools do not have computers, no furniture, no science laboratory. Science subject is taught only in theory, sir. There is no practical classes. So teachers are using the YouTube link to teach science practical classes, sir. So this is a really sad situation if our children in the rural areas are being deprived of this kind of facilities, that even the teacher, the science teacher, has to go to a particular spot where there are network and to download a YouTube to do practical classes for the students, sir. So the RMSA schools have no sanctioned posts of chowkidar, no peon, no sweepers either, sir. So there are no toilets in most of the schools and no water too. For example, the Maurankaneng RMSA school has no toilets for the student and the teaching staff. So there is no school building in Maulai Nongkwar till date, sir. The RMSA school is functioning from a rented building, sir. So each RMSA school has 6 teachers appointed by the government. The employees' provident fund is also not provided to the teachers. So the worry and the stress in the minds of these teachers and the uncertainty of their services has resulted in a lot of skilled, well-trained and highly motivated teachers to resign from their jobs. This translates into nothing else but an utter and absolute loss for the schools, the students, and the teaching community as a whole. Finally, I would like to inform this August House that certain states like Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, Punjab, and very recently Tripura have taken cognizance of many challenges faced by the RMSA teachers and has regularized the posts of the teachers under RMSA. Sir, in order to alleviate the plight of the long-suffering teachers and also to reaffirm their dignity and reinforce their basic human rights, I appeal to the government to follow the similar steps taken by the other states to regularize the services of the RMSA teachers in Meghalaya too. This kind gesture of the government would go a long way in promoting not only the best interest of the teachers in general, but most of all the students in particular. So with these submissions, I resume my seat. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I would like to inform the honourable member of this August House that the zero-hour notice raised by the honourable member have been noted by the department and the matter being closely examined by the government. Sir, the RMSA is a Government of India flagship program for achievement of universalization of secondary education in a time-bound manner. The implementation of the scheme started in 2009 and 10. It is envisaged to achieve enrollment rate of 75% at secondary stage of implementation of the scheme by providing secondary school within the reasonable distance of 3 to 5 kilometers in any habitation without secondary school. The other objective include improving quality of education imparted at the secondary level through making all secondary schools conform to prescribed norm, removing gender, socio-economic, and disability barrier, providing universal access to secondary level education, achieving universal retention. That Chairman, sir, some important physical facilities provided under the scheme are school building, laboratory, libraries, arts and craft room, toilet block, and drinking water provisions. Important quality intervention provided under the scheme are appointment of assistant teacher with the focus to science, math, and English education, encouraging teacher for professional development through in-service training, science laboratory, ICT-enabled education, curriculum reform, and teaching learning reform. That, sir, till date, the Ministry of Education, Government of India, has approved and sanctioned 81 number of secondary schools in the state of Meghalaya, and the state has made 79 schools functional and recruit 379 assistant teachers, of which 63 are headmaster, headmistress, and 316 are assistant teachers. Chairman, sir, I would like to enlighten the House that the recruitment of the teachers under this scheme was taken by the selection committee of the district administration under chairmanship of Deputy Commissioner or the representative not below the rank of additional Deputy Commissioner, the district school education officer, and other expert subject drawn from DIET and other major secondary school and higher secondary school. Unlike SSA scheme, which was taken up by the school managing committee, the main objective of the selection process is due to the fact that initial upgradation of upper primary school to the secondary level, only government's upper primary school were selected. Therefore, it is only pertinent that the district administration should initiate the selection process. Subsequently, the practice continued with upgradation of SSA upper primary school to the secondary level. Recommendation of teacher selection was taken up the district administration and approved for appointment on the contractual basis and fixed pay of 29,000 per month per teacher by the State Project Office, State Education Mission Authority of Meghalaya. 29,000 for those who have passed BA. Chairman, sir, the qualification criteria for the post of this is as per NCTE norm, and the guidelines are that is graduate with BA, and preference shall be given to those with postgraduate in the subject with experience. It is a fact that the teachers on this scheme are highly qualified and are contributing to quality education, especially in rural areas. Thus, sir, I may inform the House that both this scheme include the teachers' education was integrated in 2018 under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Therefore, to address the point raised by Honorable MA, the Education Department has to take into consideration all the aspects of the scheme. From elementary to secondary level. Nevertheless, sir, it is important to note that the problem of fund flow from the government is similar for both elementary and secondary level. If I may highlight that both the teaching faculty of elementary and secondary suffer the same plight of receiving irregular salary due to insufficient fund received on the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. However, despite the shortfall, the state government has till date released 10 crore 72,62,357 only as of salary to RMSA teacher, that is up to December 2020. With regard to pay between the headmaster and assistant teacher, the state government is examining the matter for enhancement of salary of headmaster. That, sir, I may also apprise the House that regarding the quota for the teachers, the state government have received this approval for 9 residential teachers' quarters in the most interior areas to ease the travel time and expense of the teachers. Chairman, sir, the teachers under this scheme are appointed under the contract basis. Therefore, requisition of such posts cannot be considered, and signing of agreement is mandatory for any contract. In view of restriction and filling of posts, I would like to point out that the state authority approved all appointments. However, to fill up any vacancy due to the procedure to be taken up, and such action takes time. However, in that time, it is the wisdom of the headmaster or headmistress along with the school managing committee to make adjustment. Mr. Chairman, sir, I would like to respond to representation made by the teachers that the maintenance grant is an essential component for running of daily activities of the school. That, sir, since the school are government funded and hence there are certain restrictions for the school to charge tuition fees from the parent. Therefore, the school authority depend only on the financial support of the government. However, similar to the case of salary, the delay in the release of funds from the government of India, the school maintenance grant could not be released on time. The financial support on the maintenance grant to school varies from school to school depend upon the enrollment, sir. In the current academic session, the state has released 49,50,000 only to the school on the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 per school, depending on enrollment. That, sir, it is a fact that some of the schools under RMSA does not have access to regular water supply and water supply due to remoteness. However, efforts are being made to find innovative steps on the several state and central schemes such as Jal Jivan Mission and solar panel to school as immediate measure. I may also inform that 25 schools under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan shall be installed with solar panel within this year, sir. That, sir, it is a healthy gesture that honorable members have represented most eloquent on the issue of quality education in the state. I would like to assure this August House that the state government is removing all these impediments in the education system very seriously. Each representation are being taken up at the highest level. However, solutions are only forthcoming in due course of time with active support of teaching community, leaders of the community, and public representatives. The education department has to address several quality issues, and one of them is to provide each and every child the best education, and that can happen only if the teaching community are kept at the highest level of dignity. I would also like to reiterate that the department will examine the representation in consultation with all the stakeholders, so as and also taking the opportunity to create to the SSA teacher by other neighboring states on the applicability of such opportunity in the state. That, sir, the state government is seriously looking into the plight of teachers at large and in the state despite the financial constraint, and aspire to bring about a change in the attitude to uplift and improve the welfare of teachers. Sir, regarding the Maulai Nongkwar RMSA school, there is a land dispute. The building grant is available. As soon as dispute is resolved, then its own building will be constructed. Regarding Maurangkeneng, the Maurangkeneng has a toilet but no water supply. And the RMSA school, which approved during 2010-11, does not have lab, computer, or furniture grant, sir. So, sir, with this reply, I, on behalf of the government, I seek the cooperation and support of all the members of this House in the attempt of the department for the progress and development of education in the state of Meghalaya. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any clarification from?
Yes, sir. Just one, sir. Sir, I must really thank the Honorable Minister of Education for giving a very detailed reply to each and every issues that have been raised today in this zero-hour discussion. Sincerely thank him and his team in the department who has been able to respond to each and every issues. I have just one issue, if the Honorable Minister can kindly just clarify. how do we handle the situation of the practical classes immediately in the rural schools, because science lab need to be set up and science practical classes cannot be conducted through YouTube links. So therefore, can the Honorable Minister give some kind of hope to the students and the teachers that the science lab will be equipped at the earliest possible, sir?
Mr. Chairman, sir, as I already mentioned that I didn't have the record with me how many of those schools which sanctioned during 2010-11 which does not have the lab. Then I will look into this and we'll see how to move forward regarding this school which does not have the sanction for the lab, sir. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir.
Okay, now we come to item number 2.